Good afternoon. Welcome all who joined us, Media Center in Ukrinform. This is Olga Atamanova with you. We'll talk about volunteers' job and charities, because this is a powerful front that became a 24/7 viable tool that works for our victory. And our first briefing is presenting the Serhiy Prytula Fund paintings initiative. Serhiy Prytula is the public figure and the co-founder of the charity fund. Can you tell us more about this auction, how to attend it, and what lots of which authors are being offered there? Good morning, everyone. I'm grateful for this opportunity to add to the news of the day, and it's great that Ukrinform and other media are both joined us here today and are watching us online. As to the auction mechanics, Ducat auction house officer will tell us more about this because it's done on their platform. I would like to thank for the preliminary cooperation, which was quite successful. You heard about our joint project when we auctioned Maria Primachenko's works, and the example of that successful case became the foundation for our new initiatives fighting the Russian aggression through arts. And our colleagues, various volunteers funds started conducting auctions, in addition to the record figure of $500,000 for Maria Primachenko's painting, but also $120,000 for the painting by Marchuk, another record breaking for the paint artists who are now still alive. And we are not planning to stop here, because this synergy between the volunteers, charities and people helps our armed forces. One would think what it is to sell just one painting, but you will acknowledge and recognize the size of what's being achieved only after you send out to our units 125 buses that are being transported from Germany to Peremyshl, where we have our hub. Then we will repaint them, fix them, and send them to our hub in Dnipro, and from there they will go to Kharkiv region, to Donbass, to Zaporizhia region, or like it was 2 weeks ago, we send it all to Mykolaiv, and there we share between the brigades. So we have quite an ambitious desire, quite an ambitious plan to launch this new auction, for which we selected 10 paintings of 10 modern Ukrainian artists. The list is quite heavyweight. Mr. Weisberg is here with us today, and Maestro Poterevyansky has shared his work with us. Robert's family shared one of his paintings. So these are the names of probably one of the coolest Ukrainian artists. So this 10 paintings are all united with the fight of Ukraine for its freedom and independence. We reached synergy with Army Source colleagues of ours. You probably are aware of that fund as a structure that uses its Krapiva software on the tablets used by our military, totally all of them, from reconnaissance to artillery. But in addition to being masters of that, they are also well known to air reconnaissance people as those who manufacture Valkyria UAVs. As the manager of the Ukrainian Charity Volunteer Fund, I always have the desire to contract the UAVs of Ukrainian-made UAVs. Two reasons for that. First of all, in our military units, we have enough pilots who know how to operate them, so we don't need to waste a week for them to start operating the drones that they know from get-go. Sometimes, of course, we have to import UAVs because domestic manufacturers have no way, no chance of meeting the huge demands. So while we have the vacuum in the manufacturing process, we have to bring something from abroad. But all in all, 3 to 4 months is how long it takes to train the pilots for new UAVs. So when we learned that our colleagues could provide the production of 5 dozens of such UAV sets and train our pilots to boot, well, we believe that that will be a perfect way to cooperate.
Фонду Притули буде забезпечена фінансова.
Prytula Fund will cover the funding. Also, we will provide transportation for those people, for them to transport those sets, and our colleagues will manufacture them and will prepare the teams that will be able to operate them. For all that, we need about $1 million, and my dream is that if not completely, but at least partially, this budget would allow us to generate funds from this auction, the auction that will be launched at the Ducat auction house's website. You can register, you can learn the status for each of 10 lots, and tomorrow we'll have a final of this auction, which will be conducted online at 7 p.m. Is it so? Yeah? Oh, 7:30. 7:30 then. Switch on. Join our online coverage, and we will transform it into the arms. Thank you. If you have any questions, I will gladly entertain them. Colleagues, thank you. Your questions? Use the mic, please. Hello, Mr. Serhiy, Lydia from the 5th channel. So UAVs, that's the American technology, but Valkyries are very maneuverable. They are called assistants to destroyer jets. So what are the technical characteristics and what they would be helpful for our soldiers at the front lines? Well, UAV is not a United States design. I mean, they're one of the players on this market, but we contract the domestic UAVs because money stay in Ukraine and they work for the Ukrainian economy, provide employment and pay taxes. So Valkyrie is one of the types of UAVs that we contract because the exhausting list is much longer. Well, we contract everything. Fury is available, we do that. We wait for 5 Leleka sets produced by Dovira company. So with the help of another auction where we sold the head of Kalders Orchestra artist and the prize from winning the Eurovision, we purchased UAV domestic manufacture, the coolest technical characteristics. It can stay 24 hours in the air, can fly 1,000 kilometers, and can fly away from the base up to 200 kilometers. Valkyrie is slightly worse to the above-mentioned UAVs, but it has its own advantages. Namely, it's simple and easy to be used. If the above-mentioned drones are plastic, Valkyrie is foam plastic. So in order to hit it and shoot it down with small arms, well, you'll have to shot a lot because Valkyrie cares not for the bullets. And also it's a good combination of quality and quantity and the speed of production. By the end of this year, I know for sure that we will produce 50 sets together with Army SOS, and will train people. Contracting 50 sets like that now, well, you will have to wait for quite a lot. These guys will deliver faster. Further questions, please?
Добрий день, пане Сергій. Таїса Мельник, Forbes. У мене питання з приводу зборів у криптовалюті.
Taisa from Forbes. Cryptocurrency has some problems, so what are you doing now? Accepting payments in cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is part and parcel of the charities that are paid to us, but not the predominant one. In the total balance of all raised funds, cryptocurrency is between 15 to 20% tops. So we accumulated about 1 billion grivnas already, and cryptocurrency is $5.1 million. Well, cryptocurrency exchange rates is less favorable now, but we keep asking people to donate cryptocurrency, which allows us to carry out a number of operations which we cannot pay using the invoice and the funds from our budget. So we are great to have stable donors who provide us with cryptocurrency, and even this record amount from the auction with the help of your Forbes magazine. Thank you for supporting us so much, because when we've seen that out of top 5 biggest auctions, the first, second, and fourth places are achieved by us, well, thank you to confirm to us that we are cool. So microphone for $900,000, it was sold for cryptocurrency. Serhiy, millions of Ukrainians are raising funds, they are transferring funds to the charities, but we also recognize that people have a complex here that they are not sharing enough. I just read recently your post, and you said any amount is what is needed. 50, 100 grivnas, anything. So is it that important that even small contributions matter? Well, we have some Soviet time atavisms or rudiments that we are ashamed of doing something good, and the Ukrainian society has very distorted acceptance of this notion of charity, and they claim that this is PR, and unfortunately the Ukrainian society treats it exactly like public relations, which is needs to be corrected starting from kindergarten, because the adults without critical thinking, with apathy, and who don't care what happens in the society, with no genetic responsibility, they raise similar children that would care less about the country, who will claim that charity is all about PR. Well, I'm already sick and tired of those blames, but I learned how to take it in its own stride, because the size of what happened after February the 24th, the importance of what we're doing increased by the order of magnitude compared to what we did between 2014 and 2022. So now that the Ukrainian society consolidates to the maximum extent possible, there are still people who say, well, I won't give a grivna because it would mean nothing. No, I say that even 1 grivna worth of donate, it was 30 million at that time, and in 24 hours time there was a donate of 85 kopecks, but there was 32 million on the budget already. So let's deprive ourselves of this unneeded level of infantility, and let's try and do something useful every day. Otherwise it's gonna be not so good for us. Thank you guys for what you did. And our second speaker is Leonid Komsky, Ukrainian gallerist and founder of the Ducat auction house. And while Leonid is coming up, I would like to thank him for cooperation with our funds and thank all the people who are supporting volunteers in Ukraine, regardless whether it's our funds or not ours. The important thing is that you share your funds with people who know how to efficiently make use of them. Thank you. Mr. Leonid, tell us more how to participate in this auction, what needs to be done for this, and who would win in this auction by buying this or that lot. Good morning. Well, first of all, I would like to thank Media Center for this opportunity to tell something here. So, as to the auction itself, the auction starts from an idea. Which idea did we have? What needs to be done? So, in this particular case, we talk about charity auction. So, first of all, you need to select the works. You need to select those works that are echoing to the moment, to the situation that we currently observe. This is our second auction. I'm grateful to Prytula Foundation so that they invited us to get involved in the process that currently involves practically the whole country. Because right now are probably the toughest times for our homeland. We have survived the first months of the war. Now people start getting tired. We are running out of ammunition and patience, and it's extremely important, like I see it, is to consolidate our efforts however you can. Serhiy just told us how people are raising funds, donating hryvnia, 2 hryvnias, even kopecks. And the art community, we are also trying to consolidate our efforts. There are lots of other auctions going on, not only ours, but we are also happy to get involved in this. We have selected those 10 works, which one way or another are, first of all, they're tremendously good works. Predominantly, they are modern Ukrainian artists, well-known artists, who are one of the best that currently creates in Ukraine. So one way or another, these works are resonating with what's happening. Directly or indirectly, they have to relate to what's happening in the country. The auction takes place during 1 month, so-called quiet auction, online and offline auctions combined. At our website of Ducat Auction House, you can see without registration, anyone can enter and see how the auction is going. You can watch the pictures of the works. Today and tomorrow until tomorrow night at Volodymyrskaya 5, you can see the exposition of all those works. We initially didn't plan to present them, but people liked it, so we decided that that would be our first exhibition from the beginning of this invasion. Everyone who has registered could participate. Well, if you have financial means, of course, you can participate in this auction. If you fail to get registered, well, we have phone numbers. You can get in touch with our managers and they will help you to get registered with this auction. The final would be on Wednesday at 7:30. We'll have a stream at the channel, at the Facebook page as well, and at Serhiy Prytula's page. During that stream, we will briefly tell about those works, and we'll start selling the lots. First lot, couple of minutes, second, third, and thus we hope that within 1 hour, an hour and a half, of course we want the sale to last longer, because if it lasts longer, then it means that this is a successful sale. We don't know how much we'll be able to raise, but we have already received offers for almost all of the lots, for some 2 or 3 or even more offers. So one or another out of those 100 Valkyries will collect 2, 5, 10,000 more, but we'll be happy anyway that we have been involved in this joint effort, which would help us to win. I'm grateful to you, colleagues. What are your questions now? Thank you for this initiative. Thank you for arranging such an important event. I would like to give the floor to our next speaker, the Ukrainian artist, Matviy Weisberg. Matviy Weisberg, a modern Ukrainian painter, graphic artist. So, Mr. Matviy, how did it happen that you decided to get involved, and why it's so important that the Ukrainian culture stands close to such processes and events? Well, in my personal history, it just happened so that I was not in Ukraine, and Leonid told me that the auction is coming. And since I was already doing a big graphical series, well, we've first thought to get something that is already available, but he said no. I had the angel of the armed forces, and he asked me, can you paint this for us? But we didn't have a chance to bring it across the border, and I said, well, I'll just paint it for you here. I bought it. So this is the direct action painting. Previously, I had similar experience with Maidan, and I'm extremely happy that I am, and it's a great honor for me to participate in this. With whatever I can, I also tried to help out our army. But again, whatever we can, and the art might be weapons and assistance as well. How long did you work on this painting? Well, I painted it quite fast, and it's not important how long, actually. Actually, I think a lot, and then I paint quickly. And so the angel of the armed forces was still so fresh, and so when all of us were extremely nervous, well, right now we're probably less nervous, but still nervous enough, so it doesn't matter. I was painting it for a couple of days, and it was drying longer, actually. Thank you, colleagues. Your questions, please. Well, are you planning to make any additional paintings that are dedicated to either this war or the armed forces of Ukraine? Well, I draw a lot right now, and there is not a single work which would not be related one way or another with the war events. I just cannot understand how can you paint anything else. Well, I can do it indirectly, drawing the heroes from antiquity, but if people ask me, I would say them, these are the heroes of Azovstal. That's whom I visualize. I'm not the painter who paints placards, but it's direct action painting, like I call it, because it's related to what's happening in Ukraine. I'm grateful to all of the artists involved in this project. Friends, thank you for joining us, for covering such events, and let me remind you that join the volunteers movement, join us, because each grivna is for the benefit of the country. Glory to Ukraine. Friends, colleagues, we suggest that right after this briefing we'll go to the gallery on Volodymyrskaya 5 to Ducat gallery. That's where you'll be able to see it, because discussing the art without looking at it is not correct. You can do it now, or if not now, within the day, tomorrow probably. Just tell us what's more convenient for you. We'll show you the whole exposition. We'll offer the exhibition from our curator, Serhiy Prytula. So we will offer the first tour right now, straight away. If not, then we'll arrange further time. Another thing, here we have our leaflets with important messages that our fund abides with. This is well known stamps that have been transformed into painting already. Thank you for this event.